What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Claressa T-Rex Shields, the self-proclaimed GOAT, greatest woman of all time, multi-division world champion, in my opinion, is already an all-time great. I have her number 3 on my all-time greatest female fighters, right behind the coal miner's daughter and Layla Ali. Great fighter, and she'll be once again looking to stake her claim, her self-proclaimed claim as the greatest woman of all time. Now, she'll be taking on the silent assassin, Savannah Marshall, in her home country of the UK. This is a historic event, history in the making, an all-female boxing card. It has never been a card put together of this magnitude. The co-main event, I broke that fight down yesterday. That would be a main event fight in any other situation involving Michaela Mayer taking on Alicia Bumgarner. I'm very excited about that fight, and I'm truly excited about this main event matchup featuring T-Rex versus the silent assassin. Great matchup. This is a real intriguing fight. This is a 50-50 fight. It could go either way. This fight could easily come down to the judge's perspective on this fight. There's an old saying that goes on in life: beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you have a judge that likes the most technically sound fighter, the fighter that's landing the most punches, you might have another judge, on the other hand, that likes the fighter that's landing the power shots, that are landing the more eye-popping shots. And I think this fight is going to be a very close fight. I think it's going to start off as a chess match, and I think it's going to quickly turn into a fight where, when you're looking at the punch stat, you're going to be like, okay, Claressa's landing the more punches this round, but the harder punches are going to be landed by Savannah Marshall. Now, T-Rex is the more versatile fighter. Make no mistake about it. She's the more versatile fighter. She got more tools in the toolbox. She can fight off the back foot. She can fight coming forward. She can walk her opponent down. She goes to the body well. She throws beautiful 2-3 punch combinations. Got a great jab. She knows how to control distance. She knows how to time her opponent. She's a complete fighter. There's nothing that she doesn't do great outside of she don't have the power. That's the only thing she lacking. She don't have the power. Outside of that, she's a complete fighter. If she ever develops the power, she's going to go down as the greatest woman fighter of all time that she proclaims herself to this day. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Savannah Marshall boxing skills are being overlooked in this particular matchup. She's a very good boxer, great upper body movement. She's got great power in both hands. She knows how to set up her power shots. She knows how to get her opponent basically terrified of her power, basically in survival mode, and she's able to show off her boxing skills. So it's going to be a very intriguing matchup. She's going to have to use her physical advantage over Claressa Shields, because she is the naturally bigger woman. So she's going to have to back up Claressa Shields, use her weight to tire out Claressa Shields, and use the fact that she has the longer reach. She's got to control Claressa from the outside with the jab, and she's got to use that jab to set up the right hand. Now, she has a good left hook. She doesn't go to the body as well as Claressa does, but she's going to have to do that in this fight. She's going to have to show more than she showed in her previous fights, because she's fighting a much higher caliber opponent in Claressa Shields than she's fought in her entire career. Now, we don't know if Savannah is actually Claressa's best opponent. She's been in there with some great fighters. Hannah Gabriels, who is the women's heavyweight champion. She might be better than Savannah Marshall. We don't know. We're going to find a lot about Savannah Marshall this Saturday. You know, she fought, what's the other lady she fought? Can't remember her name. That was a big fight, man. There was a lot of trash talking going to that fight. She dominated her Claressa Shields. Her name escapes me at the time right now, but you know what I'm talking about. She was undefeated. I think she had like 20 wins, over 20 wins going into the Claressa Shields fight. She was undefeated. Very good fighter. I think she was Eastern European type of fighter. And she had been fighting on Showtime, and they'd been promoting her along with Claressa Shields. And they had a big mega fight in Flint, Michigan about 2 or 3 years ago. And that was I believe that was Claressa T-Rex Shields' best performance of her career, when you consider her the caliber of opponent and you look at what she put on display in that fight. With all that being said, I'm going to pick an upset. Not that I believe that Claressa Shields is going to lose the fight legitimately. I just think it's going to be a very close fight. And I think it's going to be close enough where they can rob Claressa Shields. I think it's going to be a lot of rounds where you're going to be like, okay, Claressa is landing more punches, but the harder shots are being landed by Savannah Marshall. And I think it's just going to come down to what does a judge prefer? And I think Savannah Marshall is going to win this fight by split decision in an upset. I think that's going to set the stage for a rematch. Claressa Shields is going to want the rematch here in the U.S. She's going to feel some type of way about going back to the U.K. and getting the short end of the stick again, but she's going to have to understand that the money is in the U.K. And Savannah Marshall is going to have all the leverage, and she's going to insist that if Claressa wants to fight her again, that the fight happens again in the UK. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, Savannah Marshall has been saying in the lead up to this fight that she's thinking about retiring. I just think that's talk. There's a lot of big fights out there for her. Claressa Shields has said this in interviews. She can go up to heavyweight and fight Hannah Gabriels. She can fight, man, I can't remember this girl name that Claressa beat. What's the girl name, man, that she beat? You remember the Eastern European guy, tall, long fighter. She's very robotic, very technical, and she just cannot match up with Claressa's athleticism and speed. And that's what paid dividends for Claressa in that fight. But she's a good fighter. She only lost one time, and she's a good fighter. Her and Hannah Gabriel fight is the two best fighters on Claressa T-Rex Shields' resume. Now Savannah Marshall, on the other hand, she's probably the best wins probably was against Rankins. Rankins is a solid fighter, but she's nothing to write home about. But that's probably Savannah Marshall's best win. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Great day of boxing. Reminds me of the March Madness, as we're going to have boxing on all day and all night. We're going to have boxing going on, starting with the Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall card, and then we're going to go to the Devin Haney versus George Kambosos card in Australia, and then we're going to end the night with the Bronze Bomber, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who has a PhD in the one-hitter quitter, taking on the Viking, Robert Helenius. Great day of boxing, man. One of the best days that I can remember when covering and watching boxing. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend, and I holla.